Welcome back, children. Let us go to page number 30 and see little history in depth. And this is related to Alauddin Khalji. Page 30. History in depth. Depth in the sense in detail. Depth is also deep, going deep and seeing, but very little information anyways. We saw Alauddin Khalji was very successful in controlling Mongols from entering northern India. Also, the army of Alauddin Khalji even reached the Deccan Plateau, also even the Malabar coast. Am I right? Not the Malabar coast, the Malabar. That's what we saw in the previous session. But how was this possible? If you look at page number 30, there are two informations. One is there is a map that shows the territory ruled by Alauddin Khalji and the places he invaded in South India through Deccan Plateau. And below that, there is something called history in depth. And this paragraph shares information about Alauddin Khalji and how he maintained his army. The main reason he maintained a strong army to save the region, the kingdom from Mongols. We all know the Mongol army is a very cruel army. They are ruthless in the sense they will show no mercy. How can you control such an army? You should build your own powerful army. That's what Alauddin Khalji did. Alauddin Khalji built a new garrison town. Garrison is a place where the soldiers will stay. It's like a place where the soldiers will stay, and whenever the war is come, they'll go fight. It's the place, garrison is the place where the soldiers will stay. He built new garrison town in present New Delhi. He actually built a city for the soldiers to stay, and they should attack and prepare for fight anytime Mongols try to invade. The remains of this garrison city is even found today in New Delhi. Now, along with that, what all measures Alauddin Khalji did to take care of his military? There is something called market policy. This market policy was mainly focused for the welfare of the military, welfare of the army. So what he did? First thing, Alauddin Khalji paid his soldiers in cash, coins. But where this cash came from? The cash came from the tax he collected from the agricultural land, especially from the Doab region. What is Doab region? Indo-Gangetic Doab region. Do means to, Ab means water. Doab region is a place in between two rivers. The land area between two rivers is the most fertile land. Ink is spelling anyways. The most fertile land. And when the land is fertile, the agriculture will flourish. And when the agriculture is flourishing, you can collect a lot of tax. With this collected tax money, Alauddin Khalji paid the soldiers. Now, not only that, to feed these soldiers well, he made sure all the essential commodities, the essential raw materials, essential goods are sold with very reasonable price. Even cooking oil, sugar, rice, even cattle, cloth, everything was made sure that is available for the soldiers and even for the common people at very reasonable price. But if the merchants or traders cheat without giving reasonable price, they will be punished. How they will be punished? Alauddin Khalji even appointed officers to take care of this process. And what this officer was called? Shana? Correct. You pronounced it right. Now, this is one among the many ways Alauddin Khalji took care of the soldiers. Not only soldiers, even the common people benefited from the market policy of Alauddin Khalji. Now, let us move to page number 31. Now, let us enter page number 31 and see about Tughlaq dynasty. Why we are going to see about Tughlaq dynasty? Because Alauddin Khalji died in the year 1316. How did Alauddin Khalji died? Alauddin Khalji died due to some sickness. That is the information we have from historical records. Know the information. The moment Alauddin Khalji died, there was some political unrest. Political unrest in the sense there was confusion in the government. There was too much quarrel happening between the power. So, who took advantage? Of course, Malik Kafur. Do you remember Malik Kafur? The most trusted soldier and captain of Alauddin Khalji. After Alauddin Khalji died, Malik Kafur made Alauddin Khalji's youngest son as a king, and you know the age of this youngest son who became ruler, just 6 years old. When he was 6 years old, Malik Kafur made him the ruler. Why? So that Malik Kafur will rule in the name of that young boy. But within weeks, a week later, Malik Kafur was killed. And then came Alauddin Khalji's eldest son. He ruled for 3 years. Again, the power game ended his life too. Khusro Khan, the most trusted captain, the commander of Alauddin Khalji's eldest son, killed him, and Khusro Khan ruled just for 2 months. And within 2 months, Khusro Khan was also defeated by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. But why Khusro Khan was killed? The nobles, the lords under Khusro Khan did not like his policy. So they made a pact with Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, and Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq defeated the lost Khilji ruler Khusro Khan, and thus began the era, the time of Tughlaq dynasty. I went to Google and asked what is the meaning of Tughlaq. It said strength and power. Anyways, who is this Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq? Historical record says he was an able statesman in the sense a well experienced and well respected political leader and a wonderful administrator. He has wonderful experience in ruling the country. Also, he had very good qualities. He never chose the option of harsh punishment. He first said, I will deal with you in a calm way. I will accept what mistake you did, but there is a limit. He was such a well-sounding, well-enlightened person. Also, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq did lot of public welfare works. He took care of the public and lot of developments he did for the public. Also, after Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq came his son Muhammad bin Tughlaq, the most powerful ruler in the Tughlaq dynasty. But how did Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq died? It was an accident. If you want, go on Google, but I'll tell you, though it was an accident, modern or later historians say it might be a coup in the sense a plan to kill the king by his own son. Anyways, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq died, and then came Muhammad bin Tughlaq. It's time to read more about Tughlaq and see how this will help our exam. Stay tuned. My dear children, we saw the rise of Tughlaq dynasty, right? We saw Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, how efficient ruler he was, what he was capable of, and the welfare he did for the people. Let us now see about Muhammad bin Tughlaq, who was also responsible for the rise and fall of the Tughlaq dynasty. First, let us see the qualities of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. This image represents Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Your book also has this image. Muhammad bin Tughlaq has been referred as the most accomplished scholar and most able leader, better than his father. What do you mean by scholar? Scholar is a person who is well read and have knowledge of so many literatures. This applies to Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He was brave, he was wise, and he was also having lot of knowledge in the field of literature, religion, science, and even philosophy. What is philosophy? Philosophy means school of thought. What do you mean by school of thought? Philosophy is nothing but understanding about life, researching about the events, why something happens to us. Philosophy is a highly intelligent topic when people think about life. That is philosophy. Imagine a ruler being a scholar, an efficient administrator, and a philosopher, and having knowledge about science, literature, and every other field. That's a gift. But unfortunately, this same gift also became a curse. Why it became a curse? As great as a ruler he was, Muhammad bin Tughlaq was also ambitious. Now, Muhammad bin Tughlaq ruled for almost 25 years. For 25 years, he ruled Delhi. But in the meantime, his brain was thinking about some various projects. These projects he thought will change history, will develop his nation more. But exactly the opposite happened. And what are those projects and why they failed? That is given in page number 32. Here are the projects. First, he wanted to move the capital from Delhi to Devagiri. Delhi is in the north. He wants to come to the center part of the Indian subcontinent, that is Devagiri. And he thought if he moves to the center part, he can control every area, and he can escape or protect people from Mongol invasion. He thought like that, and he asked everyone to move to Devagiri. Yes, even the population who were living in Delhi and his officials, everyone was supposed to move from Delhi to Devagiri. Unfortunately, so many people died on the way, and it did not work out. The journey was too dangerous. Second project that failed, there was a great famine. To control this famine, you know what he did? He was collecting too much tax. Obviously, when there is a famine, how can you collect tax? But he collected. Because of this, the peasants, the farmers revolted against the government, and everything went out of control. When there is a famine, there is no rain. When there is no rain, there is no yield. But he was asking for tax. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was asking for more tax during the famine period, and the farmers revolted against the kingdom, and the government couldn't control this revolt. Revolt means fight against the government by normal people. Third, oh my God, this is called token currency. In today's world, token currency means giving an advance amount to buy something. That is what we call token currency. In those days, especially in historical terms, token currency is something, for example, this is gold coin. Okay, for example, we have a gold coin, but instead of gold coin, you use some other coin, some other metal, and say this is as valued as gold. You are getting my point? That is called token currency. The government will say this. Government will say this is token currency. This might not be gold, but it has as much value as a gold. But the original coin will be copper or something. Do you think this will work out? Children, Maggi noodles is Maggi noodles. Semia upma is Semia upma. Maggi noodles and Semia upma are not the same. But Muhammad bin Tughlaq said, instead of gold and silver coins, let us use copper and bronze coins. Why? Because the Gajana, the treasury of the government, was emptied by giving salary to the soldiers. Now there was no coins. He said, let us use these coins. Now people started adulterating. People started making fake coins. Gone. The economic stability of the government was also gone. So these are the projects that failed. While telling all this, I also remembered one topic that I missed while talking about Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was also a humble person in the sense he had so much knowledge, he had so much skills, he had accomplished so much. Yeah, he knew many languages. He also knew Sanskrit, Persian language and other languages too. Such great knowledge, such wisdom, and still he was a humble person in the sense no head weight, no show off, like me, a calm person, not like you people. You have too much arrogance. I'm just kidding. Anyways, this is the rise and fall of Muhammad bin Tughlaq and the Tughlaq dynasty. Let me jump to page number 33 also. Let me jump to page number 33 and what it says, the first paragraph, the downfall of Sultanate. Am I right? The downfall, I don't remember the paragraph title exactly. I am going to call it as downfall of Tughlaq dynasty. And just now we saw the reasons. Because all his projects failed, the Delhi Sultanate was coming crushing down and nobody was able to save it. Even his son, who came after Muhammad bin Tughlaq, couldn't save. They tried, but they couldn't save. Now, because the Delhi Sultanate was crushing down, what happens? Every region that was part of the Delhi Sultanate, they were announcing, we are not part of Delhi Sultanate, we are freedom. We got freedom, we are running our own country. You people remember from 7th grade, same such incident happened. Hyderabad, Awadh, Bengal, they all declared their own independence after Aurangzeb. You remember? Same way, Delhi Sultanate became weak because of the policies of Muhammad bin Tughlaq and people in the Deccan, Bengal. What else? One more country I am missing. Let me just check it. Here I am, Gujarat, Deccan, Bengal, Gujarat. All these people declared their own independence. They said, we are not coming under Delhi Sultanate. Not only that, even in the people in the south, the Bahmani kingdom and the Vijayanagara empire, not empire, that we'll see later, they all declared their own freedom. So no one was able to retain or get back the old glory of Delhi Sultanate. Not even his Muhammad bin Tughlaq's successors, the Sayyids, the Lodhis, no one was able to protect Delhi anymore. Sayyids and Lodhis, we'll see who are they, and also we will see who is Taimur.